Hey everyone, your favorite rogue vegan here. Nope, the human behind the camera, not the kitty in the box. That is Stevie playing with a new toy that we got. We got an Amazon order in. There's Callie. Callie, what you doing, baby girl? Callie, you okay? Just gonna talk real quick. I haven't posted on my YouTube in a while because a lot of stuff's been going on. Nothing really awesome or great, but some okay stuff. And well, anyway, some of you already know what's been going on. I know I don't really have that many followers, but there is a fellow vegan and animal rights activist that is spreading a lot of rumors around about me. You see, a bit ago, he put out and yes, I'm showing my messy room at this time, and you'll see why in a little bit. He put out, he created emergency please don't leave Facebook group chat, saying, and ended up posting a video of him crying, saying that the person he was living with, who was his ex, they'd broken up a few months before. I don't know what's true anymore, so I don't know how long it's been. And one of her sons were being abusive to him, his dog, and his 4 cats. So, being the people we are, a few of us jumped into action. Some people donated money. There's Axie Poo. Some people donated money. And some of us started making plans to get him out of there. It was in Pennsylvania, and we live the South Carolina Georgia border here. So we brought him, his 4 cats, and his dog down here. Now we drove all the way up there, which was, I can't remember how long, 8-10 hours, something crazy like that, and then back down on no sleep. To save him, the driver, she even paid for a hotel room for him to stay with the furbabies the night before. Because he didn't check out in time, actually got charged for 2 nights and extra animal fees, because apparently they had a per pet fee, not the fee she was told about originally. So people spend a lot of money, and we spent a lot of time to get them down here. I didn't have any money at the time to help with, but I had myself, and that's what we did. He had videos showing a lot of proof of the abuse towards at least the dog. I'll be honest, I have not fully watched them all because it's very disturbing to me. And that's why I'm vegan. I don't dig animal cruelty. So, anywho, hope y'all enjoy watching Stevie play. She's just a... Anyway, we got him down here, and we couldn't find anywhere for him to stay. And we couldn't really afford to keep him in a hotel forever, and he supposedly had no money. So, we were selling my mother's old house, which is the house I grew up in. And it still hadn't sold yet. So I said, it's temporary. You can stay there. It's pretty much been abandoned. Not fully abandoned, but no one's lived there in about a year or so, because my mom's lived nearby with what was my grandparents' house where she's living now. But you can have the cats and the dog there. There's a fenced-in yard. The house is a good size. Electricity's on. Air works. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I'm getting some text messages as I do this, but anyway. Apparently the house was messing with his asthma and stuff, so the friend that drove down to get him was able to convince her husband to let him stay in the spare bedroom with his dog. The cats could not come. I don't remember if it was because of an allergy or her husband just not liking cats or the situation. The cats didn't have anywhere to stay, but they could stay there until we sold the house. We ended up selling the house, and one evening he attempted suicide. Apparently took a large amount of medication that he had. He'd been prescribed pain pills for quite some time. Supposedly he didn't really take them much, but he took over 100 of them that night or something to that effect. I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what he did. All I know is the next morning, our friend woke up. He was no longer there. He ransacked the place. He left pills all over the floor. His gun was out. All kinds of craziness. And then he told us in the group chat something about being in the hospital. It was crazy confusion. Personally, I was also dealing with working a lot. I do have 4 jobs, and one of them, I was working as much as I could on one of them just to I needed money, especially if I'm taking care of 4 more cats on top of mine. And one of my cats, Sid, was sick. He'd been to the emergency vet. I had bills to pay for him, and he ended up passing away. It was very horrible, very sad. The morning when I found that he'd passed, that night, I started the day having to bury Sid, and if you see Axel there, the I don't know if Stevie's staring at us, but Axel's actually one of Stevie's sons. Sid was as well. Sid was a tuxedo like Axel, just little different markings. Very handsome, very sweet guy. I miss him a lot, and I'm going to cry if I keep talking about it, but I will mention that part of his, him being sick was he was peeing all over himself, therefore peeing all over everywhere. It was hard to keep up with things, keeping things clean here, but I started that one day burying Sid, ended it by picking up my mom from the emergency room. It was not fun. The next day was the last day we were going to have my mom's old house. Stevie, be nice. And I picked up his 4 cats and brought them to my house. That would be a full house of cats, but I've had 12 here before, so it wouldn't be too bad. And 3 of them are in that kind of teenager, don't eat on that baby. Eat those little toys that they got have catnip in them, so I thought that'd be a nice little treat for them. But anyway, 3 of his 4 were in the teenage years, so very active. One of his was several years older, had not been away from his daddy for like more than a night or 2, and was very pissed. I had a lot of scratches, broken dishes, more mess to clean up, more mouths to feed. The food that he left, there wasn't much to it. What he used for litters, not very effective at all, even though he was good at trying to tell us why it was. She loves those things. So anyway, a friend of mine had gotten some passes to Magic Kingdom and wanted to take her little girl who's 4, and I agreed to drive them because who doesn't want a free trip to Magic Kingdom, right? My mom was watching the fur babies, including my dog California, while I was gone, and the kitties. I did contact a friend of mine that was a pet sitter, but she wasn't available because it was kind of last minute. But anyway, the night before we left, I think, the young man was released. The person we saved from Pennsylvania was released from the rehab/mental health facility. If you look them up online, they say they're a rehab facility that also deals with mental health issues, something to that effect. He told us that he had a former patient sign him out. He was mad because the friend he was staying with would not let him stay there anymore. Her husband vetoed it. He told people that he was afraid her husband was killing her when he didn't hear from her for 2 days, when it was just a miscommunication thing. They just kept leaving messages back and forth for each other. And that was when we found out this entire time he was still in touch with that ex of his that we supposedly rescued him and his fur babies from. He was begging her to come save him, to get him out of the place, that they were trying to kill him, that they denied him his medication, and supposedly ended up getting somebody fired for trying to kill him in some fashion or another. Once again, I have the cats. The other friend here has his dog, who was very well taken care of and became very well at home with her dogs. Actually ended up having more fun than she had in a while, it seems. She finally howled for the first time, from what we were told, that she didn't howl. But she did. Anyway, the cats were fine here, except for the one that he'd had for a while. You know, he was upset about the whole situation because his daddy abandoned him. He wouldn't be mad. Their kittens were fine, and my cats actually got along with them, which was nice to see. I go on a little vacation, even after hearing that he's been released, and I just knew I had a bad feeling, but I was like, let's think positively, right? Because that's what we need to do. While I was gone, and still approximately 4 hours, I was driving home, and I was driving us home, and approximately 4 hours away, I received a phone call, and I had called my landlord and spoke to the office manager and let her know nobody's allowed in my home but my mom, and she's the one caring for the animals. And my mom knew nobody was allowed in my home but her. Well, he was here, and my mom said that he was attempting to get in with a card. She pretended like she lost her keys and thanked him for opening my door with a card. Told me he just stuck his head in. She didn't know if he got any pictures, but that's all he did. He had a local sheriff's officer with him, and I'm on the phone with them, stopped at a gas station, and saying, don't let him in my house. Just wait till I get home. Why can't he wait till I get home? The officer said that if I did not let him get his cats, if I didn't give him his cats, I'll tell you what, if I didn't give him his cats, I would go to jail. In no way was I ever trying to keep them from him. I don't want to have to deal with that many cats. I have enough of my own. Stevie, what you doing behind that box? I got you. on the camera. And that's fine. Plus, one of his cats missed him very much, and I wanted them to be reunited. But with him not having a home and him being signed out by a former patient, no one would come sign him out or vouch for him or anything like that. Well, it made me a little hesitant, but I wasn't even home, and this is just how I am. I don't like people in my home. I just don't. Hey, Axel. Anyway. The officer assured me only my mother would go in the house to get the cats. And talking to my mom on the phone was very frustrating because she said, well, which pet carriers are his? And I said, the ones with his name on it. And she'd say, oh, the blue one? I said, does it have his name on it? She'd say, no. And I said, well, then that's not his. And we went through it several times. She assured me after he left, after everyone left, she called me back and said that nobody else came inside my house. Just like the officer had promised me on the phone that nobody else was going to come inside my home. And that was said and done. I came home. There's broken glass on my floor. There's a mess in my home. And my mom had not been cleaning up after them well at all. The potty pads for my dog were like squished up in a pile together, like those hankies are in a pile right there. That's how the potty pads look. And the smell of the urine, and it was where my dog had been peeing on the floor, was just horrible. It did smack me in the face. And they didn't have any water. So I made sure they had water. I'll show you guys the water setup I have for them, which the orange bowls don't have water now, but I told my mom, please make sure the fountain, that silver guy right there, and the orange bowls had water. I filled up the fountain as much as I could before I left because I knew she wouldn't be able to see the fill line, but I figured she'd be able to do that. Because I'm home now, I'm not gone for that long, I'm not so adamant about filling the bowls up with water because all of them have now shown me that they do drink out of the fountain, and I do have another fountain set up. So anyway, I'm kind of going about my business, and I find out that our dear friend that we rescued from this abusive relationship is now saying that I gave his cats health issues, I abused them. There are fleas around here because this is the South. We're right in the middle of the border of Georgia and South Carolina. It's hot as heck, and there are fleas everywhere. He never gave me flea medication. Supposedly he had some, but we didn't know when they'd last gotten it. We didn't want to double up and waste it if we didn't need to. I was broke at the time. That changed right before he broke into my home. But, yeah, and apparently they got ear mites, which means his cats brought my cats ear mites because mine haven't had ear mites. We had that a long time ago when I first took in the ferals, which is, one of them was Axie-Poo's daddy. Good boy. And those ear mites were taken care of a while ago. Only my boys had ear mites, my girls didn't, and it was Cass and it was little Jimmy, and their ear mites were taken care of years ago. So, he's saying I abused them. He did take Foxy away from the other friend. The dog away from the other friend, sorry. And he said on the post, he wrote a long, lovely little fictitious, let me add, story that he was passing off as truth. And someone said, ooh, one comment on it was, ooh, someone took a creative writing course. He basically just bashed the crap out of me. Now, when they got here, he apparently got an Uber driver and the Uber driver's wife to help him in a truck. And they had the 4 cats, and with no harnesses and no leashes, nothing, just the carriers 3 of the cats were in, or maybe 4 of them. I don't know what they did. I think I'm missing carriers too, because my mom, who knows what my mom did. Anyway, my house is a mess. They had no water. There was some food. The stuff was left, but some carriers and the fur babies, that his kitties were gone. I'm still trying to get broken glass out of my feet. I really don't want to have to go to a doctor for it if it's something I can do myself. You guys know I'm stubborn like that. And I keep finding broken glass in various spots of my kitchen. It's still a mess in here because I'm having to make up for a lot of cleaning up. But I'll show you some of it. It was on top of the washer, my portable dishwasher. You can see little pieces of it. You know, there we go. Yeah, some broken glass. And okay, guys, he posted in the thing talking about how there was even human feces on the floor and all that stuff. There's not human feces on my floor. Brandon, shut up. How I had over 24 cats or 20-something cats. No, I don't. There are 7. And a bunch of dogs. California is the only dog here. And he posted my address. He did a video of my home outside. He posted my address on Facebook and the phone number for local animal control and told people to call them to come check on me. A couple days ago, a few days after this, they did, and they laughed at his idiocy because this is nowhere near as bad as he said it would. They were like, I think he told people that maybe I had a bunch of vicious puppies or something, because when they saw California, which I think she went back under the bed, didn't she? Yeah. They were like, she's kind of old. She's 11. She's got a lot of gray on her. She's got a lot of white on her. And I talked about how she did have the torn ACLs a while. And they met Stevie, the other cat's hid, of course, because they're freaked out. California's had a really bad upset stomach, and they've all kind of thrown up here and there. And it's been very stressful. I actually had a panic attack Saturday night. I went out and spent some time with some friends. And if I'm gone for more than just a couple hours, I have a panic attack. I need to get home because I'm worried something's happened to them. I've had issues with depression, anxiety, and PTSD and all that fun stuff. But yeah, no, he just, and in the story he told, he basically said he came into and ransacked my home. I have cleaned up some since then. I know you can't really tell. It was a bit of a mess before. Not long before the trip, I left for the trip, my washing machine broke. So you may see some of my under things. You know, I don't normally like that. Oh no, well, yeah, there's some out. So I'm hand washing stuff, and I got this. My dryer still works. The washing machine doesn't. So I set this up to hand wash and dry stuff. This is part of the laundry I need to do. This is some more. And some of this is laundry from him when he was staying at my mom's old house. I am going to a friend's house today to get some stuff done. Here's where I'm hand washing some delicates because I would just rather do my own laundry. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff. I just have a lot of stuff. This is something I got a cabinet. Let me get this way. I got from my mother's old house. My grandparents had it in the lake house my granddaddy built. And I'm going to get a suspension rod and put a curtain up here, maybe, you know, because there used to be doors and they broke. They were glass a long time ago. And this recliner I got from my mom's old house, and that coffee table. A bunch of this stuff is going to be donated. I'm trying to sell it, or it goes into the cat room, which you can see a peek of the cat room there. It goes in that closet. If you remember a few months ago, I had a so-called friend staying with me, another vegan who took advantage of me. And I'm still trying to put stuff back together from when she was here. Plus, I was working a lot. Once I got better from the surgery, the hysterectomy, I took a food delivery job, and I ended up getting 2 more merchandising jobs. So if I was on the go, I was on the go, or still resting. It takes a long time to heal from a hysterectomy. It's a huge freaking thing, guys. Come on, seriously. So yeah, I'm still trying to get everything together. I put a video on. Dishes are everywhere. Coffee spilt everywhere. Like I said, he ransacked my home. So the cats, his cats would make a mess too. And I didn't mind it. I knew what I was signing up for the most part. I didn't know he'd screw me over and lie like that. Oh, Callie's under the bed. Let's see if we can see her. Callie. Hey, Callie. You okay, baby girl? Yeah. But we're going to go visit a friend and do some laundry today. I did want to do a walkthrough of my home, but not until I got it reorganized and taken care of. But I'm going to need assistance. I'll need help. Some stuff I could move by myself, but it's just easier with a friend. And a few things from Amazon. I'm going to try out this lint shaver. Yeah, save some of my tops and some blankets because lint's everywhere. Isn't that right, Stevie Bot? Yeah. So his name is Brandon Kirkwood. He started this vegan news site. Anything on Facebook. Some of you guys may still be friends with him. Supposedly he did take video of inside my home. Be funny if I could see where the human feces was, because there ain't no human feces. There was probably hairballs and dog poop and vomit from my mom not keeping everything cleaned up. That shelf right there with the bundle of blankets and stuff, the cats constantly knock it down. I'm lucky my dragons and giraffes and stuff stay okay. A lot of things, like I said, it's a lot of stuff. My mom had a lot of things in her old house. Trying to use them. Whatever doesn't fit, I will get rid of. But it's my home. It's not, I know I look rough, but I'm tired. I've been dealing with a lot. More stuff hanging up to dry. This used to be in my kitchen where that white cabinet thing was. I've got a lot of stuff to do. I've got some shoes in here that the cats peed on. I'm going to try to clean. I took this week off for my delivery job, or last week really, because I needed it after the vacation. This is some storage stuff. This is actually something I'll show you guys. Let me start by saying, this used to be a store in the mall where I grew up called The Closet, and it's been closed for probably 20 years now. I don't know. I don't remember exactly when, but inside of it is a cough drop wrapper. That's funny. This is a baby bed that was made for me. I think my granny doll made it when I was a baby. Not for me to be carried around in, but for my baby dolls to be carried around in. How do those wrappers get in there? Anyway, oh, there's more stuff in here than I thought. Oh, how did this stuff get in here? Huh. This is at my mom's old house. I've got these little shoes. Aren't those cute? Little Mickey shoes. And Donald and Goofy. Awesome. I don't know if these are mine or not. Oh, they're kind of icky. Yeah, I don't. Okay. And that came from a Barbie bed. I remember this from when I was a kid. A Barbie bed. My fan's going because it gets hot in here. And this is a padding for, I guess, a Barbie bed. I don't know. That pillow is probably dirty. My mom wasn't the best at housekeeping. Grandmama was the best. Oh, you saw how clean my grandmama kept everything. Oh, strawberry shortcake pillow. And that's where baby dolls go. And I didn't want to bring it out when Sid was still sick and peeing everywhere because I didn't know how I'd clean that. But yeah, it was difficult. My mom selling her childhood home and dealing with my childhood home and finally getting her to sell it because she was living in my grandparents' house now, basically, and it was paid for. Her house wasn't paid for yet, so we made the decision to sell her old house. And instead of me moving into my grandparents' house and her staying at the house I grew up in, I let her move into my grandparents' house. And after paying off a couple things, we split the funds from the house. So, I can kind of help people out now that have helped me. I can return some kindnesses, but I kind of hate that boy's pushing, man. I mean, we don't know what's going on. It's caused a lot of stress, a lot of problems. Too much going on. Sid passing away and my mom maybe having another stroke. I am quite upset with my mother. She let strangers in my home. She said it was because the sheriff's deputy told her if she didn't, I'd go to jail. He denies this. He says that he let the boy in because my mother invited him in, and my neighbor confirmed later on that he came in. I found out from that post, that long post he posted, slandering me on the internet, that's when he said he was in my home. So, yeah. He broke into my home with a credit card. Took advantage of my elderly and not quite all their mother. Remember she had an aneurysm and had surgery for it back in December, and she's not been really right since. That and many other reasons are why I'm not talking to her right now. I hate being lied to, and she's lied to me a lot. My credit's been ruined. My check card and my checkbook have disappeared, so I went ahead and changed up my account information. Same bank, different everything else. So the money that I got from working hard to sell that house and all, it's safe. I think if someone did steal those things from me, they did it just to inconvenience me because they knew I didn't have any money at the time. Anyway, they would have gotten caught worse. So yeah, once again, his name's Brandon Kirkwood. He started the vegan news site and supposedly has issues of other people trying to take the name. Brandon, if you're watching this, I wasn't trying to keep your cats. Please stop lying to people. Guys, he's got a fundraiser out there and people are donating money like mad. If you see the fundraiser, go ahead and report it to Facebook. This is not the first time he's asked for funds when he didn't need them. Turns out that he gets a disability check every month and money from elsewhere. He doesn't need a fundraiser. And any problems that he's caused with those cats and his dog were his own fault. He stole the dog from a very loving, happy, healthy home. And apparently more than once now. So, yeah. Also, one of the kittens, his cat Stevie, the little Stevie, she didn't have all the health problems he said she did. He lied about that as well as his own. He even lied about having cancer at some point. So, yeah. Brandon, stop, please. Most of us know the truth. People that don't know the truth will soon. and you're hurting the movement, you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting those fur babies. We want you to get help. We know you were diagnosed with depression and problems with PTSD, and that the way you're acting are very big symptoms of a PTSD attack or manic phase or whatever it's called these days. We want you to get help. Not for yourself, for those fur babies. And the way you're acting is not right, man. We just want you to get help and do what's right for yourself and for them. And please stop slandering me online. Like I said, if they don't already know you're lying, they're going to know soon enough. So thank you for anyone that watched this video. We're going to look at my dirty bathroom mirror and I'll talk to you from there. Hi. Yes, I know I'm not a skinny girl. That's a vlog for another day. And I know my mirror's dirty. Who knows what happened in this bathroom while I was gone, right? Someone broke into my home and ransacked my house. He said in the post, and I have the screenshots because a lot of people wanted to send them to me, saying he went through everything in my house. Supposedly there's piles of poo everywhere. There might be in here. Hold on. Nope. Sometimes the cats do go potty in here, and honestly, I'd rather them go potty in my tub or maybe even in my sink than, like, I don't know, here or on my bed, which they did pee on my bed while I was gone. Thank you very much. Thanks again for watching, guys. Brandon, please get help. If you know him, help him get help. Report that fundraiser. Brandon, please stop. Please, you still owe people from other fundraisers that you didn't follow through with. Come on. Thanks again for watching, everyone. And just remember, for the love of everything, please, go vegan.